Sharpening your tools. A dull shovel or hoe takes much more effort to use than a sharp one. Digging or dirt-moving tools need touching up only once a season. Weeding hoes need resharpening after several hours of use. To minimize sharpening, try to avoid using your weeding hoe for other tasks. Get a sturdy, wide-bladed hoe for moving dirt around or digging furrows, which doesn't require a super sharp blade. You can use these same steps for sharpening the blades of a rotary lawnmower. Remove the blade from your mower before sharpening. 1. Secure the tool in a vise with the dull edge at a convenient height and angle. For shovels and spades, face the front or bowl of the tool toward you. For hoes or weeders, face the angled cutting side toward you. On pull types, this is the side facing you when you pull, and the flat, unsharpened side away from you. Determine the original angle, bevel, of the sharpened edge. Hold the file parallel to the bevel and turn it until you're working at a 30 to 40 degree angle. Pushing away from you with medium pressure, file each dent or nick with short strokes. File in one direction only until the working edge is smooth and even. Remove any sharp burrs on the backside with 1 or 2 file strokes. Don't sharpen the backside though. Sidebar, hints for success. Which is the working edge? The working edge of garden tools are different from those of ordinary knives. One side of the sharpened edge is flat and never needs sharpening. Only the angled or beveled side is sharpened. Look carefully to make sure you're about to work on the angled side and not the flat side. It's important to try to maintain the existing angle as you sharpen. Maintaining hand tools. A few simple procedures will keep your tools in good shape for many years of use. The same tip applies to long-handled and small-hand tools, which are both usually metal blades attached to wooden handles. In addition to the steps below, see the page on the left on how to sharpen edges. You'll also need less effort to dig or weed if you keep the working edges sharp. Clean your tools after each use. Wipe or brush dirt off, wash it off with a hose, or simply scrape it off with a piece of wood. Some gardeners will keep a narrow scrap of wood with one angled in, or an old wooden spoon, for just that purpose. You can also plunge blades into a bucket of clean sand. At the end of the gardening season, remove any rust from metal parts with steel wool, sandpaper, or a wire brush. Wipe the clean metal parts with an oily rag before storing. A thin coat of oil will help prevent rust. Whenever a wooden handle becomes rough, smooth it with sandpaper to prevent splinters. Wipe the handle with tung oil or vegetable oil after sanding. You may also wish to oil the handle slightly before storing for the winter. Short-handled tools are easy to misplace in the garden. Paint handles a bright color with heavy-duty enamel to make them easy to find. A strip of colored tape around the handle serves the same purpose but needs replacement more often. You can also dip handles in a can of liquid plastic handle grip. It dries to make a nice rubbery grip over the wood. Protecting your back. If you sit at a desk all week and then try to shovel a ton or 2 of manure or compost on Saturday morning, you risk injuring your lower back. Back pain is easy to prevent if you learn to work with your body rather than against it. Take periodic stretch and rest breaks. By giving muscles a few minutes to recover, you greatly reduce the risk of injury. If you overdo it, stop at the first sign of pain. Immediately applying an ice pack or a bag of loose frozen peas to strains helps minimize discomfort. Sidebar, hints for success, creative thinking. Turning compost with a garden fork is one of the most strenuous garden activities. Some people use a rototiller to do some of the heavy work. First they spread out the pile until it's a foot or 2 deep. Then they run the tiller back and forth until everything is well mixed and toss the mix back into the bin and reshape it into a pile. Warm up before gardening as you would before any other athletic endeavor by doing the following exercises. Stretch out your legs, gently arch your back, and then slowly bend forward, stretching towards your toes without straining. Hold a long-handled tool, such as a hoe, across your shoulders. Bend to each side as far as possible and hold that position for 5 seconds. Be careful to keep your body in good alignment and do not bend so far that you lose your balance. Bend to each side 5 times. Grasp the hoe handle with both hands and move it to one side of your body and then to the others. Lift as high on each side as you can and hold that position for 5 seconds and then relax. Other ideas. Slowly swing arms from side to side while twisting at the waist to loosen your upper back. If your lower back tends to get stiff or sore, lie on your back and bring your knees up to your chest several times. Bring knees up once more and then hug them to your chest and gently stretch the lower back. Back-saving techniques. Keep your back as vertical as possible, as often as possible. When you're upright, you can use your weight and your feet rather than your arm and back muscles to push the spade into the ground. Bend your knees before you lift, keeping your back upright. Straighten knees to lift each shovelful, or any heavy object, with your powerful leg muscles, not your weaker back muscles. Keep the load close to your body. Use a cart to move heavy materials any distance. Never bend whilst lifting something with a long shovel, and then twist to toss the shovelful. This is one of the most stressful actions for the back. Using the more efficient vertical position, the same back can lift heavier objects without strain. Hoes are designed to minimize back strain. Stand erect when hoeing or raking. Hold the hoe's blade parallel to the soil and drag it just below the surface to slice weeds off below their crowns. Most hoes are designed to be pulled towards you. Hold such hoes and rakes with thumbs up as you would hold a broom. Try for a sweeping rather than chopping motion. Chopping with a hoe isn't very efficient. If you're stooping and getting a stiff back, refine your technique or try a different style of hoe. Vary your tasks to give different muscles a break. Alternate shoveling with less strenuous activity that keeps your back straight, such as minor pruning at chest height or higher. Lots of pruning can strain your wrists. Cushion grips help to reduce wrist strain. Inexpensive ones can be added onto many tools. Hints for success: back-saving tools. Rakes and some other long-handled tools are now available with bent handles. These allow you to stand straighter when you work, reducing back strain.